Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for the Kneejerk stream for Game Week 24, and we're also going to look at Game Week 25 as well. While we're at it, there's a lot to discuss. I think this game week, bit of a mad game week as well. A lot of points. We're going to also discuss that double Game Week 25, as I said. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? How's your weekend been so far?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Hopefully everyone else had a really nice weekend, especially watching the football this week. I think it's been really, really exciting, enjoyable watching the fixtures. And yeah, a lot of talking points, I think, for matches, especially for today.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to get into it and discuss this game week, and then also, as I said, look ahead, because pros and cons for me this game week. So I'll start off with my team, as you guys can see. In goal, Dubravka yet again sort of disappoints. Gets me a 1-pointer after his was it 3-2, wasn't it? They won in the end against Forest.
Yeah, just about 3-2 against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, so I didn't expect a clean sheet from Newcastle because we know they are conceding a lot of goals. So I sort of knew that he wasn't going to get a clean sheet. Moving on to the back three. Again, no clean sheets really there. Again, disappointing. Obviously, I made a big error, as I'll come on to in a sec with my benching. Pedro Porro conceded a goal early on against Brighton. Obviously, Spurs won it late on with a 2-1 win with Brennan Johnson getting the winner. Pedro Porro, nothing, blanks. Doughty, I think he was a bit unlucky. Doughty actually created 9 chances in that game. He was creating a lot, but Luton, for whatever reason, obviously Luton lost that game, but he should have maybe had an assist that game. But with hindsight now, I probably should have played Gabriel. It was a tough one for me at the time, but in looking back on it, obviously, as you guys see, Gabriel on the bench, definitely been punished with that, the 12-pointer, because before the Arsenal game, I actually looked at my rank currently, as you can see on the screen, 240. I believe my rank was, I'm going to have a look. Before that Arsenal game, I remember my rank was 200k or 204k. So I got a 30k or about a 40k red arrow because of the Arsenal match, and which is frustrating, obviously, because I would have been nearly inside the top 200k. But yeah, Gabriel, I benched him, and then I played Doughty, which obviously doesn't look great right now. Doughty comes over with a 1-pointer, but he does have a double game week in 25, which is the main reason why I bought him in the first place. So yeah, we'll see what he does for that. But yeah, a bit annoying. And then Trent, again, I was unlucky there, I think, with Trent, because he got an assist in the first half. Puts a corner in, Jota heads it, and I'm thinking, here we go, Trent assist. Unfortunately, Liverpool did concede late on in the first half, and then Trent was actually subbed off at half time due to a relapse. Could be a potential relapse of what he had, the injury again. And it is annoying because I bought Trent in due to this double game week 25, and it looks like Trent could miss double game week 25, or at least one of those games. So he's now flagged. I'm probably have to take him out. My plan was to roll, but now I might have to deal with that. So we'll come on to that in a sec.
Trent may have come back too soon from his last injury.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I think I don't think the plan was to actually play him against Arsenal. I mean, I think Bradley was going to play, but obviously we know what happens with Bradley. Trent comes in against Arsenal, and then now he played again. And maybe Liverpool did bring him back too soon, but Liverpool have got a lot of injuries at the moment, and Liverpool are still winning games. But yeah, that's another thing with Trent. Like, I might have to deal with that because I won't have the doublers I wanted. Obviously, I could play Gabriel and just bench Trent, but I really want a Liverpool player again, I think, for the double. Moving on to the midfield, Richarlison blanked. That's his first blank in ages, it feels like, because he's been returning quite a lot for me recently. But yeah, he did blank in the 2-1 win. Jota, my transfer in, did pay off. Jota scored early on in that game. Liverpool weren't great until Jota scored. And yeah, it was a nice header. And yeah, very happy to have bought Jota in. Now he's got a double game week coming up as well, so definitely paid off that one, bringing him in. Foden unfortunately did blank. Obviously got the hat trick last week, played him. Blank was a bit disappointed with Foden that he didn't get anything, but I guess after his highs of last week, it's always difficult to sort of do that sort of score every week. So yeah, Foden unfortunately didn't get anything. Saka, again, he's paid off this week big time. I think that's his biggest haul so far this season. He comes away with 2 goals, and I believe he got 3 bonus points as well. So yeah, this is a great game because this is what we wanted from Saka for weeks. A big score like this, and yeah, there was people think is Saka value for money at 9 million, but that's why he proves he is now value for money. And but as we'll come on to Haaland in a sec, it's recency bias. When a player doesn't score for a couple of game weeks, it doesn't make him a bad player, because we know how good they are and the history they have of scoring goals. So yeah, Saka comes away with a 15-pointer, which I was happy with. Unlucky I didn't bench Saka because I was thinking Saka or Saka or Palmer was the one I was going to bench, and obviously I went Palmer. Hopefully Palmer doesn't punish me too badly tomorrow. We'll see what he does, but so far I mean I'm pretty confident he won't outscore 15 as of now. So we'll see. Maybe I could have benched Foden, but after his hat trick, it was just difficult for me to bench Foden, and obviously we'll see what he does in regards to Chelsea and Palmer tomorrow.
Yeah, I think for Saka now, I think we can stop doubting him due to that performance. I think, yeah, he did have a slow spell of play, but yeah, he's one of those players that can obviously bounce back, and he showed that against West Ham today.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about. I mean, I had a WhatsApp chat with you in regards to Haaland, though. When people were doubting Haaland, how Haaland hadn't scored for a couple of games, and I told you it's just a bit of recency bias. He hasn't scored for 2 games. Wait till he bangs in 2 or 3 goals against Everton. That's exactly what he did. Haaland, as my captain, we'll move on to now. Yeah, Haaland is pretty normal. What he does now is just, he's just an excellent player. He didn't play for 7-8 games. So I think, I mean, I was never deterred off Haaland as captaincy. I just know what he's capable of. He needs one chance. Whoever didn't see his first goal, sort of fortunate the way it fell to him, but that finish, that is just, there's not many strikers that can just do that in the game. Like just left foot, bang, goal, first chance, and it's in the net. It's just a deadly finish. And Man City weren't great, to be honest. Like first half, they were very flat. They struggled to break Everton down. I thought Everton defended really well, but you see when KDB comes on the pitch, it's just completely changed the game. And Haaland started getting more chances. So yeah, Haaland comes away with the 2 goals, 3 bonus as a captain. Yeah, there's not really much I could say with Haaland. I'm looking at him as a triple captain as well. I'm pretty certain on that, maybe 90%. I'm going to go Haaland triple captain for the double in Gameweek 25. Moving on to Darwin, my first time owning Darwin this season as well. I know he's been frustrating for a lot of managers out there this season, but for me so far, it's only good experiences with Darwin. I bought him in. He scored a goal. Lovely header, by the way, for those that didn't watch it. It was a difficult header to like lean back sort of, and head the ball into the corner. I think the ball was slightly played behind, so it was a really good goal from Darwin. He also should have had another one. He missed a 1-on-1. He touched the ball, came over him. He touches it, kills it, first touch, 1-on-1 with the keeper. Unfortunately, he hits it straight at him. And also Luis Diaz, another one. Luis Diaz had the perfect opportunity to just pass it to Darwin, and Darwin's got a 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Luis Diaz messes up the pass, and then the chance is gone. Similar to Haaland, actually. Haaland could have had a hat-trick in the 90th minute. If KDB passes it, squares it to Haaland, Haaland's got a hat-trick. So, yeah, it was unfortunate. They could have had more. And Darwin should have actually had more. And this is why, I mean, I've bought Darwin in, because I just think the guy gets so many chances that I'm backing him to actually take one of them at least in a match. And obviously this week, I'm glad he did. But I know he has been some, bit of frustration for some managers. And in Watkins, I thought Watkins should have scored as well. He could have had 2 goals today pretty easily. One chance, 1-on-1 with Onana. He should have maybe shot a bit earlier. Onana comes out, to be fair to Onana. He done well, comes out very quickly, blocks it. And then another one, ball comes crossed down from the right, and Watkins just hits it straight out Onana. Onana didn't realise, hits his chest and bounces back out. So Watkins definitely should have scored today. I think missed a couple of big chances. But it's one of those. I think on another day, it maybe could have went in. But all in all, I'm actually quite disappointed with this game week. Even though I got a green arrow, I don't know how big the green arrow is. I'm just gonna have a look. I believe it's very small green.
Yeah, it is. I think about 10 or 20k.
Yeah,
green arrow.
10k. Well, 8k, 8.9k. It was a lot bigger. My green arrow was like 50k until I benched Gabriel, I believe, because my rank was 200k before Arsenal game kicked off. Obviously, we know what happened in the Arsenal game. Gabriel scores. Saliba, who I don't have, got a goal, and that moved my rank back to 240, which is basically sort of a grey arrow. Like I sort of stayed similar to where I was, which is disappointing. You know, I got 69 points. Obviously, I took a hit, so actually, you know, I'm ended up on 65 points because of the -4. So not that I can't complain too much. It is still a green arrow at the end of the day. And I am closing into that 200k, and I think I can get there, especially with double game week 25 coming up. But there is a little headache as well. I'll come on to in a sec. On the bench, I've got Areola, who I'm glad I benched because West Ham today, shocking. I was actually embarrassing. I mean, I had to turn that game off because, yeah, I was thinking, what are West Ham doing? Yeah, that was a very bad performance from West Ham. Palmer, again, we'll see what he does. I'm hoping he doesn't punish me too much. He does have Palace away, and we know Palace have been struggling as well, so we'll see what he does. Gabriel, again, I sort of now regret benching him. Now I look back on it, maybe it wasn't a smart idea to play Doughty. Luton have been on form, and you know, if you watch that game though, Doughty got a lot of chances. He was creating a lot, but for whatever reason, the Luton guys couldn't take it. And maybe on another day, I mean, no one saw 6-0 coming for Arsenal, I don't think. So yeah,
No.
it's just one of those. I've now benched Foden for his 20-pointer, and this week it's Gabriel for 12-pointer. So it sort of stings because if I played Gabriel, I'd have a lot. I'd probably be in the top 200k pretty easily. And then Taylor's on the bench. We know he's still flagged because you know he's still out injured. And yeah, all in all, can't complain too much. But yeah, I'm not quite happy with the Gabriel benching because that could have changed my game week completely. Yeah, that's how my game week's gone. Jordan, we'll talk about your team. Talk us through how it's going. And yeah, how it's gone really so far for you.
I mean, yeah, it's quite a mixed bag of performances. Let's start off with the goalkeeper, though. Let's start with Leno. He gets his 3 points. Unfortunately, though, Bournemouth did score. Otherwise, it would have been a nice clean sheet for Leno. But he did get 4 saves, so that gave him an extra point. But only 3 points for Leno in goal. Moving on to the defence. So, yeah, again, Estupinian, bit of a frustrating player again. No points for him, but he did play.
He's been a disaster, I think.
Yeah, it's not quite worked out for us Estupinian owners. But yeah, another blank for him. He did get a yellow card too, and obviously conceded 2 goals. So he ends up on 0 points with no attack and return, no clean sheet for him this week.
I feel like he's got 0 points like 3 game weeks in a row when you've played him. I think there's been more weeks where he's got 0 or minus. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, he got 1 against Crystal Palace in 23, 0 against Luton in that 4-0 loss, but he did play 45 minutes. But he only played 10 minutes against Crystal Palace. This was his first 90-minute game since game week 20 when he was playing against West Ham.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a little bit of a shaky start.
Yeah, he's been. No one saw that coming though. Like him just getting benched randomly in games, and it just hasn't worked for him in the last couple of game weeks.
No, it hasn't really worked bringing Estupinian in on ever since he came back from being injury free. But let's move on to Pedro Porro again. Nothing from him. So this is 3 game weeks now since he's had no clean sheet or an attack and return. The last attack and return from him was in 21 against Man United, and since then he's had nothing, and that's another 2 points for him this game week. So yeah, I'm not expecting clean sheets honestly from Spurs, but I'm at least expecting something for Pedro Porro in terms of attack and return, but it hasn't been anything significant from him in the last 3 game weeks. So he could be one of those players that we could potentially look to take out of our teams now. But moving on to last defender, and this is a bit of a fortune, I think, from this massive win against Arsenal, the West Ham 6-0 loss. I mean, this had loads of goal scorers in this game, but I gave this a 4-0 prediction. I never thought they would score 6 goals against West Ham. But yeah, it was a pretty bad performance from them, especially at home against their fans. But it's a nice 12-pointer again from Gabriel. His aerial threat is just too good against defenders. It's just unmatched by anyone, really. But yeah, he scores a goal. He gets the clean sheet. He doesn't get any bonus points, which I'm not surprised about because there's so many players in there that obviously was worthy of those bonuses, but he still manages to get a nice double haul of 12 points. Moving on to the midfield. So yeah, we'll start off with Foden. He's blank against Everton. Even though Man City won 2-0, he only got 1 clean sheet point and ends up on 3. After his hat-trick from last game week, I think that we can forgive him for only getting the 3 points this week. Moving on to Saka. Again, another huge score, 15 points. Only played 66 minutes in that game because it was pretty much game over from the amount of goals Arsenal scored. So it was a nice rest for Saka. He scored the 2 goals though and got the clean sheet point before he got subbed off in that late second half. And yeah, another nice performance from Saka. Next player, we got Charlison. Yeah, another. He was a bit unlucky, I think, for one of the goals because I think one of them rebounded off the post. And I think someone else ended up putting it in the back of the net. So unfortunately for Richarlison, he didn't get any goals from that game, but a nice win for Spurs against Brighton. And obviously Palmer, he plays Crystal Palace away, and he's very important because he is my captain for this game week. So I'm like 8 points off of the green arrow. So I just need 1 goal, I think, from Palmer, and I think that's a green arrow for me in terms of captaincy. But I think he should do well. I think Elise is still out, so he won't be in that game, and other such injuries for Crystal Palace. But yeah, I'm hoping for Palmer. He plays Monday, so he does play tomorrow. See how he does. And I'm finally moving on for the forwards. So yeah, we've all spoken about how much Haaland, the danger he possesses, especially now coming back from injury. He has scored 2 goals. He also got the bonus points. Yeah, scored both of the goals for Man City. I was a bit hiding behind the sofa when I saw him score, obviously, the second goal. I thought the first one, yes, we spoke about how it was fortunate, how it fell to him, but I won't put it past him how he finished it, though, because not many players can finish like he can. So, yeah, very well done for those who did captain Haaland for this week. I did vice him, but he ends up getting 13 points for me still. So, yeah, that is one. He has a double coming up. So, all eyes on Haaland, I think, for double game week. Moving on to the next player, that is Tony. And yeah, I was quite happy that Tony did score in that 2-0 win against Wolves. I thought they played really well, Brentford, in that game. And yeah, nice goal from Tony. And yeah, that leaves him with 6 points. So I'm quite happy with his form in that game. Finally, moving on to Watkins, and yeah, on this 2-pointer. I mean, I was quite happy with the way Man United played in that game, if I'm honest. I mean, Aston Villa had lots of chances to score, but I felt like Onana, especially Maguire as well, I thought he was pretty good in that team, and that all-out attack from Garnacho and Højlund as well. He's getting a lot of form now. 4 goals in 4 matches now for him. But yeah, I was quite disappointed with Watkins. He should have scored at least 1 goal in that game and potentially 2, but it wasn't to be for Aston Villa. And yeah, it was a 2-1 loss to them at home. And finally, moving on to the bench. So Areola, I was surprised he ended up on 0 points, if I'm honest. I think the saves he made up for him not getting the negative score for that, but he ends up on 0. And again, Gross has punished me again for his 10-pointer. He did score a goal, and it was a surprise. He is on penalties, I believe, for the current moment, because he did take the penalty in that Spurs game and obviously scored it. He got the bonus 3 for it too, which I'm also surprised about, considering they did lose that game, Brighton, but Pascal Gross was pretty good in that game. Bell, he obviously conceded 3 goals to Sheffield, so he only ends up with 3. He did get a bonus 2, though, for his nice defending. And finally, Branthwaite, he only gets 1 point for the goals he conceded against Man City. So all in all, 10 out of 11 players have played for me. Obviously, I've got Palmer to still play for me tomorrow in the Monday night fixture, but it has been a pretty decent week. I think it is a red arrow, 120k. I was on 90k, so it's about my 30k red arrow. But I think as long as Palmer does well in that Crystal Palace game, then it should be a green to end on for the game week. But I'm on 58 points, and yeah, it's been a interesting game week, but I'm pretty happy with how it's gone so far.
Okay, so that's pretty much game week 24 covered. Obviously, you've still got your captain to play tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully Palmer doesn't punish me too much. And if he does, then I might turn my green to a red. We'll see. But yeah, I think let's talk about game week 25 because it is a double game week, and this is potentially a big week. And there is something that has cropped up now in my team that I do have to assess. So this is what my team currently looks like, the bus team. Let me just zoom in for you guys so you can see my team. Bear with me for a sec. 2 seconds, guys. There you go. So hopefully you guys can see that. In goal, I am playing Dubravka, who's got Bournemouth at home. I've also got Areola, who's got Nottingham Forest away. I'm not sure who I'm going to play. I'll probably go with the Newcastle goalkeeper. Areola just conceded 6 to Arsenal. So in terms of fixtures, I'm going to go with the home fixture, I think, and play Newcastle. In the back three, look, I'm hoping this doesn't... I might actually play Gabriel. I'll be real. After today, I might bench Pedro Porro, which sounds mad against Wolves at home. But with Gabriel, I have a feeling Arsenal are going to get a clean sheet against Burnley. I don't expect Burnley to score. So that's a clean sheet locked potentially there. Obviously, we know Pedro Porro has the attacking threat, but Gabriel also has attacking threat himself, it seems, on set pieces. So I'm quite undecided. Right now, I've got Porro there, but that could easily be Gabriel. I'm definitely going to play Doughty because Doughty has a double game week. Yes, it's not a great double game week. He's got Man United at home, and then he's got Liverpool away. But bare minimum, he's going to get 4 points by playing both those matches, and I'm hoping he can nick an assist in any of those games. And against Man United, especially because it's at home at Kenilworth Road, I wouldn't put it past Doughty to get something. So I'm quite happy to play Doughty in that double.
I wouldn't be against benching Porro, if I'm honest, because the way Spurs have been playing, I mean, I don't expect a clean sheet, and yeah, attack return seems unlikely.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. I could actually just play Gabriel because I feel like I don't want to get punished. If Gabriel gets another goal, and I feel like having an Arsenal defender is going to be popular. And finally, the annoying thing of my team, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, my plan, guys, was to roll my transfer and just leave it as it is and then go into game week 26 with 2 free transfers to help me enable the blanks. But now Trent has popped up with a flag. Do I deal with it or do I just bench? Do I just bench Trent now and play Gabriel? I don't have to take Trent out. I could just bench him. And what my plan is now, I'm undecided now. I'm undecided if I'm being honest. I'm not sure what to do. Because what I could do is do Trent to Van Dijk. If I do Trent to Van Dijk, I'll have to take another -4. I'll have to take a -8 in game week 6 to get to like 11 players, which I'm not sure I want to do. So what I might just do, maybe even play Trent. Hope he plays one of those games because I think Trent might miss Brentford, but he might play Luton. So it's a risk now. I'll have to decide what I do. But as of now, I'm probably going to either bring Van Dijk in for free and then take an extra hit to take him out because Van Dijk, I think, could do well in this double. I still think Brentford away, Luton at home is really good fixtures for Liverpool, especially even on set pieces potentially because we know Van Dijk likes to attack some set pieces and stuff. So I'm not against bringing Van Dijk in. It's just annoying that it's going to be another hit because Van Dijk blanks in 26. Moving on to the midfield, I'm happy that I've got Jota. Again, he scored in the last game week and now he's got a double. So Brentford and Luton at home. Salah looks like he could still not be back. We'll have to see what Klopp says. So I'm very happy to have Jota for the double. Foden again, another double game week for him. So I'm going to keep him for that one. It's a really 2 good home fixtures for him potentially. Richarlison's going to play for me against Wolves at home. And then Saka against Burnley away. I'm definitely not going to be benching Saka. Watkins has Fulham away. Obviously, they lost today, Aston Villa, but I think, I expect them to bounce back. I thought Watkins could have easily scored today. He was a bit unlucky, I think. Obviously, Onana could have done a couple of good saves. But yeah, I'm going to play Watkins. Darwin again, he's got a double. I'm happy to go with him again. We'll have to see what Salah's situation is. Is he back in training? Because Klopp did say he could possibly be back in training. And I expect Salah to maybe play Luton game. So that could be a bit of a downer on Jota and Darwin's minutes. But I actually think Salah would play with Darwin and Jota. I think Diaz might be the one to drop out potentially. And then Haaland currently is the captain. He's got Chelsea at home and then Brentford as well. And Haaland will be my triple captain. I am going to activate my triple captain chip on Haaland. I think this game week, I just want to get that chip out of the way. And on the bench, I've got Areola. I've got Palmer in there, who I'm benching again. Obviously, Palmer has Man City away, so it is a tough game for Chelsea. Even though Palmer did score against Man City earlier on this season when they played at Stamford Bridge, but I just think at away to Man City, it's going to be a much more different game. And when you look at my team, there's no way I can bench Jota or Foden, who got doubles. Richarlison's got Wolves at home. Saka, I'm not benching Saka now against Burnley, so it's just a very big headache. I can't bench Watkins. Darwin's got a double. That's why I've literally gone Palmer as a bench. Gabriel, again, I could play Gabriel and just bench Trent and just roll a transfer. But yeah, that Trent flag has literally ruined my plans, because if I had Trent for this double, I would have been very confident. I would have had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doublers. My bad. 6 doublers I currently have, but realistically, we're looking at 5 with Trent currently flagged.
Just on the topic of Trent, actually, have you thought of maybe taking him out for perhaps a Bradley? Because let's say, obviously, Trent won't play for Brentford away, but let's say Klopp doesn't want to rush Trent back for that Luton at home fixture. Maybe he puts him on the bench and maybe perhaps plays Bradley for both of those games instead of actually rushing Trent again in case he does have another relapse in his injury. So, because he is a massive player, Trent, to miss out long term, especially, and I don't think Klopp would want to take that risk because he has Bradley there. I think it's pretty good replacement for Trent. He has shown that. So
the thing with Bradley is that he wasn't even in the squad against Burnley. So it all depends on the press conference, because in my opinion, I would not be surprised if Bradley misses out again, because obviously we know the situation with Bradley. Obviously, his father's passed away, and Klopp and Liverpool, the club, have given him compassionate leave until he's ready to come back. Obviously, he's still a very young kid. Well, something like that could affect, obviously, he does need time off. So we don't actually know when Bradley is going to be back. He's a risk for me in terms of minutes, because there's every chance that he might not be in the squad again. And with the other thing is, Bradley, okay, let's say he doesn't come back. Obviously, we know what he's gone through. He could take more time off. Then you've got Robertson. Robertson's just come back from injury, played 90 minutes against Burnley, but Robertson's a risk as well, because Liverpool have a lot of games coming up. They've got Brentford, they've got Luton, and then they've got a cup final as well. We're forgetting, end of this month, Liverpool play Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. So Klopp's going to have to rotate the squad. So Robertson's a rotation risk, because Tsimikas is now back as well from his injury. So Tsimikas can play left back. So for me, the reason I say Van Dijk is because he's going to play no matter what. Every other Liverpool player is a minutes risk. And that's the only reason why I'm considering Van Dijk, because I think he's going to play 90 minutes in Brentford and he's going to play 90 minutes in Luton. He's got a bit of threat as well in terms of corners as well, and he does sometimes pick up a bonus point or two. But ideally, I think Trent was the great pick. I mean, Trent was playing really well against Burnley. He was probably Liverpool's best player in that first half. Got an assist, and then unfortunately getting injured. I don't know what the situation is. No one knows. Klopp did say it could be a precaution. He felt something, so he didn't want to risk it. But I'll be surprised if Trent plays 90 minutes in both those games. I don't think Klopp was going to risk it, because we've got big games coming up. We've got a cup final coming up. And yeah, it's just, I think if you've got Trent, you wait till the press conference now. And if Klopp says Bradley's back, yeah, I agree. Bradley could be a good cheap option now. I like 4.3 million or whatever he is.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate for the events that happened with Bradley, because otherwise, if that wasn't the case, Bradley could be a nice replacement, a cheap one, especially for Trent, especially the way Bradley performed before that.
Yeah, he was doing well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, with my team. I wanted to roll, but it looks like I may have to do a move, but I don't really want to, because now it means I have to take a -8 in game week 20. Well, game week 26, I'll have to take a -8 to take out 3 Liverpool players, and I'll also have to take out. Yeah, I have to take out 3 Liverpool players, and I'll have 2. I'll have 1 free transfer. It's the -8 if I bring Van Dijk in, or I play Gabriel, and then I only take a -4 in game week 26. Gabriel's not got a bad fixture. You probably expect Gabriel to get a clean sheet against Burnley. It's just, can Van Dijk get you? What's Van Dijk? So if I take a -4, Van Dijk has to get me like a double-digit haul in terms of over both games. He has to get me like a 12-pointer to sort of pay it off, really.
Have you not thought about just going for a single game week player and avoiding having that blank player next in game week 26 instead?
Well, what I could do, I could just play Gabriel and just bench Trent, literally. Or I play Trent and in the hope, and I get lucky that he plays one of those games. Maybe he plays Luton. That's the only other thing. And right now, I mean, initially when I heard Trent's going to be, obviously got flagged, my plan was straight away Trent to Van Dijk. But now I'm looking at it, it's going to be a -8 in game week 26 if I bring Van Dijk in. And I don't really want to take a -8 right now. And I think Gabriel can easily get a clean sheet against Burnley, which means, he could get 6 points. If he gets a bonus, maybe it's worth just playing Gabriel rather than trying to bring in another double game week player. But I just have a feeling I think Van Dijk could even score against Brentford or Luton on a set piece. And he gets a couple of chances on a header, but yeah, we'll have to see in regards to that. But other than that, I'm happy with the rest of my team. I've got Darwin and Jota. I'm very excited what they can do in that double, especially with no Salah still. But, we'll see what Klopp says this week. And then on the bench, as I said, hopefully Taylor comes back as well from injury. So Taylor, I need him for game week 26 because I'm short on game week 26 in terms of a full 11 if he doesn't play. So I do need him to play. But I think Company did say he's back soon. So we'll have to see. But that's what my bus team's looking like at the moment. What about yours? What's the headaches or what's the plans?
Let me just switch over. Thankfully, there is at the moment no issues whatsoever. And yeah, there we go.
Let's pull up your team.
So yeah, currently there is thankfully no flags for my team going forward into the double game week. But let's start off with the goalkeeper. So I've decided to play Ariel, who has Nottingham Forest away. I'm not expecting a clean sheet, honestly, especially with Awani back in that Nottingham Forest squad. And the way West Ham lost to Arsenal doesn't fill me with much confidence, but neither does Leno against Aston Villa at home either. So I'm going to take a chance in Ariel that maybe he can get some save points from that game. But moving on to defence, so I have got Estupinian who's got Sheffield United away. Brantford's got Crystal Palace at home. I think that's a really nice fixture for Everton. And considering Brantford's ownership is really low, and he has had a few hauls of points every now and then, I think that's another fixture where he could get another decent week. And finally, playing Gabriel, who has Burnley away, which I think is a no-brainer, especially if you have a defender from Arsenal, because I think Arsenal players at the moment are very important in terms of the title race and winning these games, I think, near the end of this season. In the midfield, though, we've got my first player with 2 fixtures, Foden, who has Chelsea and Brentford, both home. So definitely playing him for that. Saka is the second asset for Arsenal. He's got Burnley away. Charleston's got Wolves at home. Again, nice fixture with some returning as well. I still think that does provide for Charleston still with some attacking threat in that game. Gross, he's got Sheffield United away. I'm wondering if he will still punish me for blanking in that game, considering I benched him twice when he's had 2 double hauls, but hopefully not. Up front, we got Haaland, who, same as Foden, has 2 nice fixtures and is currently the captain. Tony is the vice with, again, 2 fixtures, Liverpool and Man City. So 2 difficult fixtures, but one that could potentially mean Tony scores in one or the other. And finally, we've got Watkins, who has Fulham away, which for a single game we play, I think that's pretty good as well. And just quickly got on the bench, we've got Leno, who's got Aston Villa at home. Palmer, decided to play bench Palmer actually. He's got Man City away. I don't really want to because it is his whole club. He could potentially score against them like he did before. Pedro Porro is on the bench also. He's got Wolves at home. I'm pretty comfortable with benching Pedro Porro the way obviously Spurs are playing at the back. And as you can see, Bell, who's also got 2 fixtures, is on the bench. The reason being is he's just one of those double game week players, which I don't feel like he'll get much out of those 2 fixtures, because if Man United score big and if Liverpool score big as well, that could be Bell could potentially get like 2 or maybe 0 points, or maybe a negative, depending on how many goals are scored against Luton. But yeah, I'm not too keen on Bell. I think I'll prefer Doughty instead, but have Bell instead for obviously the price I brought him in at 3.9 million. But yeah, so far this is my team going forward into obviously the double for 25, and I do have 2 free transfers, and I think this will look more easier if I show you on the FPL.team website, just to show you what my plans are. I'm actually going to show you the plans for the next 3 game weeks, if that's okay with everyone. But
Yep.
as it currently stands, obviously I've got 2 free transfers with 1.6 million in the bank, and the transfer I'm looking to do is taking Pedro Porro out of my team, because he does have a blank in 26. So I do want to take him out because I have 4 players who blank then. So I do want a starting 11. So I'm going to take him out, and I'm potentially going to bring in for obviously Pedro Porro. I'm trying to think who I'm going to bring in now because my mind's gone blank. Oh yeah, that's it. Ake for Man City. Yeah, the plan is to bring Ake. That's another double for obviously the game week. So yeah, that's my first move for game week 25. I will roll the transfer over into 26, the other one. So, and obviously Haaland is the captain. I'm not going to use my triple captain on him, just for those to be aware. I'm saving it. So it's only a standard captaincy for Haaland. So let's move on to game week 26, where obviously I have 2 more transfers to use again, so I have to use another one. So my thinking on this is to take out Richarlison, who blanks, and then bring in Neto, who has a nice fixture against Sheffield United at home. So again, that leaves me with 3.5 million, so extra bit more money in the bank. And I think it's a nice fixture for Neto, especially the way Wolves are playing and scoring a lot of goals. And with Neto back in, obviously, the team, he looks much better with Wolves back in. So with this in mind, in terms of captaincy, I'll probably captain Haaland again for that week. And obviously we move on to game week 27. And again, 2 free transfers and a lot of money in the bank. So my plans for game week 27, if all is good, I will take out potentially Estupinian and bring in Senesi for Bournemouth, who's got Burnley away. Nice fixture. Again, at least be a little bit more money in the bank. And obviously, I will play Palmer and potentially bench Neto, who has Newcastle away, because I think that'll be a tough fixture as well. In terms of captaincy for that week, I will probably go for Saka actually for that one for 27. And that leaves me 1 free transfer again. I'm going to roll that one over into game week 28. And obviously game week 28 is where there's a few doublers. You've got Bournemouth and you've got Luton who double in 28. So the plans for obviously this week, this game week, is taking out Tony and bringing in Solanke. That's those nice 2 fixtures at home, Luton and Sheffield. And also taking out Watkins, who does have Tottenham at home in that fixture game week, and bringing in Adebayor, the Luton forward as well. So that will be my 2 transfers used. And I also will decide to play Bell and bench Ake, who has Liverpool away. I think that's again tough fixture for Man City, so I'm better off playing Bell, who has a nice double against Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. And for that week, I will captain Solanke, but not only will I captain him, I'm going to use triple captain on Solanke. So that is the plan. From obviously game week 25 to 28 so far. So yeah, I will be triple captain Solanke if all goes to plan, obviously, because anything can change up until that moment. But yeah, that's what I'm currently going for in terms of the plans up to double game week 28.
Okay, I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, it's slightly different to what I'm planning. I mean, the only thing I will say, if you go back to 25, are you not worried potentially or like going into 25 with no Liverpool attackers? Does that concern you? Because obviously, at the moment, Jota is quite popular as a pick. Are you concerned about having no Liverpool attack or?
No, I'm not really concerned. I mean, I would bring in Liverpool attacker, but it just creates more problems with maybe taking out a lot more players than I really want to. That I kind of want after the blank, and because Liverpool blank right after that double, it just seems annoying. You got to take the play. You bring the player in, and you have to take the player out if you don't want him for the other part of the obviously the game weeks. So yeah, it is risky going without Liverpool. I mean, I've gone without Liverpool this week, which I felt like it was a bit lightheaded, but it's sort of I've got away with it due to how the rest of the game week's gone. But yeah, I am a bit concerned because they do have a nice 2 fixtures, Liverpool, but I'm going to take a risk and go without any Liverpool assets.
Okay, not to worry. Well, in regards to my team, I mean, in terms of what I plan to do, obviously, now that Trent's injured, I can't really bring in Van Dijk. I feel like. Let me know what you guys will do in the chat. Because do bring Van Dijk in. That's a -8, and I feel like that's quite a lot. But let's take a few of your comments anyway, guys, and see what you guys are thinking of it of the situation. Tom White got to Kia Ora. I don't know what you mean by that. Got to run to work, but I hope you have a great double. Game week 25. Yeah, I hope you have a good game week as well next week. Tendai, yes, boys, 73 -4. Got Haaland and Diaz in. Saka and Gabriel Hall for me. Palmer to go tomorrow. Then £191 on a £14 Man United bet. Get in. There you go.
Nice,
You had a nice weekend. SJ as well says hi. Doughty, Vardy, all regular on the best pro replacement this week. I mean, I like bringing Doughty in because of the double, personally, but it's a tougher double. Obviously, Doughty doesn't have an amazing double. But the one thing I do like about Doughty, he had a double and then he had another double in 28. So he's got 2 doubles coming up. So I do like that fact.
I think I'd prefer to bring Doughty in after the first double game because obviously he blanks right after that one. So I'll probably go for a Man City defender. I don't know if I'll go with Guardiola, but I think a Man City defender I'll probably go for in terms of a replacement because I'm going with Ake for me as a pro replacement this week.
Yeah, for me, I'm going Doughty just because the 2 doubles, you want to get the double in. And if he does well, he does well. If he doesn't, you've got another one coming up. And hopefully you can cover the blank. Hopefully you can get out 11 players. If you have to take a -4, I still recommend. If you have to take a -4 for 26, I still think it's worth it. Having a good game week, 79 points. Palmer to go, says SJ. Foden for the double and 10 players in game week 26. Neto in is better than KDB for the double and 9 players in 26, right? I like KDB, I think. I mean, KDB was benched in this game week 24, but he comes on, gets an assist. And I think that makes him an even better option now for 25 because you're most likely going to play both of them. So he's probably going to play both the doubles. And I think if you've got KDB, definitely keep him because I definitely think he's going to start against Chelsea and Brentford.
But yeah, in terms of that, if he does have KDB for the double, you only have 9 players. But I think I'd rather have Foden for the double and play 10 instead of having a play 9 in game week 26.
Mm-hmm. And what's the last bit is Neto in is better than KDB for the double and 9 players.
I think I would.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I
I wouldn't want to have 9 players.
But that's what I mean. I think if he has KDB, he'll have to play with 9 players in Game Week 26. But if he brings Neto in, then he'll have 10 players, I think.
But could you not take a hit then? Take a -4 if you have to, if you want to get to 10. I wouldn't mind taking a -4 personally. I took a -4 this week. So far, I'm on a green, so it can pay off taking a -4 sometimes. -8 territory, again, it's a lot more trickier when you're in that. That's why I'm not considering taking a -4 this week. Sorry, -8 in Game Week 26. 64 points, 20 points on the bench. Really bad decisions. Yeah, I mean, I had Foden on the bench last week, so sometimes happens, I guess. Just a lot of players that are doing well. You're going to get sometimes players that you have to put on a bench that do score points. Even I was doubting about captaining Haaland, but in the final minutes, I gone with him. It was a close call. Yeah, I think there was quite a few captaincy options you could have went with. I mean, I was considering a Liverpool player. I think Jota was a decent captaincy option this week for myself. Obviously, Jota did score, but he wouldn't have matched Haaland. But Saka, if you went Saka for anyone, I don't think anyone considered Saka realistically, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of people did go to a Liverpool asset. I've seen a few captain Jota, so there were other options. But as you guys know, going against Haaland, sometimes it is risky, as we've seen, because he seems to score most games, and he is the main man with Liverpool. We know Jota can score. We know Salah can score when he's fit. Darwin can score. Diaz. With Man City, you feel like majority of the goals, if they're going to score, it's going to come from Haaland. He's like the main source. It's not really spread out as much, their goals. 60 with Parma and Gusto to go. No Arsenal centre-backs hurt me. Yeah, I mean, the Arsenal centre-backs hurt me for sure. Not playing Gabriel, and then, Parma and then Gusto. So, you could still end up on a good score if they do well tomorrow. Hi lads, 75 points for me with Parma to play. I'm really considering taking a hit or possibly a -8. Just wanted your thoughts and hits for the players who double. Depends who you're taking out as well. I'm not against a -4. -8, obviously, it could pay off sometimes. It depends who you're bringing in. Obviously, it's a risk when you take a -8 because the player you bring in has to do really well and get like a double haul. So, it's hard to know without knowing who you're taking out and who you're bringing in.
I mean, I am a bit like anti-Liverpool in terms of assets. I think at least one, depending on what the rest of the team looks like, is worth going for. But I wouldn't be bringing in 2 or 3, especially when you have Chelsea, Liverpool, not Chelsea, Spurs, Luton, and obviously Liverpool that blanket and the following game week as well. So, but it all depends on the hits as well. A hit might pay off for that.
Yeah, I'm obviously sold on Liverpool because I wanted 3 for double 25. Unfortunately, I'm only going to have 2 probably. Now, I'm still not ruling Van Dijk. I could still do it, but I definitely want triple Liverpool or double minimum going into that double. And if I have to take a -4 in Game Week 26 to get 10, 11 players, I'm okay with that just because I think Liverpool's double is so good that I can't ignore that fixture. Brentford and Luton. There's no way I'm not going to attack that. For myself, that's the way I play really. I do, even you see I got Doughty in who's got a pretty bad double. Man United and Liverpool isn't a great double, but usually I like to have as many doublers in my team. But sometimes, single game week players can outscore them, as we've seen. Like you see Gabriel this week. Obviously, he could do that similar thing next week against Burnley.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think Doughty is a little an exception in terms of Luton assets because he does have quite a bit of attacking threat for them as well. Because so far this season, he's got 7 assists and 1 goal, and at 4.6 million, 7% ownership. He's definitely a player you want to take a punt on in that double. But I
thought he's just might as well get him in because he's low owned and he's got a double really.
Yeah, because you never know from both those fixtures what we've seen from Luton against Newcastle in that 4-4. Like we never saw that come in. I don't think any of us would have predicted that scoreline either. So it is unpredictable football. So you never know. It could pay off.
Yeah, I mean the hits could pay off, or they can backfire because single game week players can easily outscore doubles. We've seen it before. It can happen, and especially someone like Gabriel who's got Burnley. If he scores against Burnley, then it's easily quite possible. And Burnley are bad at set pieces, as Ben Murphy says here as well. Braden, triple captain next week. Haaland. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Haaland. I'm fairly sure on it. I could save it, but realistically, I don't know when I'm going to use it. Obviously, Solanke also in 28, I think is a good option. He's got 2 nice fixtures as well. But I think Haaland, I mean, we saw like this game week, really. He just needs a couple of chances. The reason I'm going to go with it, I think, is because it's 2 home games. And I'd expect Man City to win both those games. So, yeah, I'm like 90% sure I'm going to triple captain Haaland, but we'll have to see because I still think there's going to be other good opportunities as well. But if you want to use it on Haaland, which I know is sometimes a bit boring because we seem to, I mean, we're going to captain Haaland most weeks now, I think, when he's fit. But there are going to be opportunities to go different, definitely, because there's going to be other doubles coming up, other interesting fixtures as we've seen, obviously with Solanke, and I think there'll be even more later on down the line if you want to use it and save it. Hits would be bringing in Darwin for Solanke, and I'm short to do with Trent, and I already have bought in Tony. I like Darwin in. I like Darwin for the double, but again, you're going to have to take Darwin back out in 26. So if you've not got enough free transfers, are you okay with taking a -4? I wouldn't mind taking a -4, but with -8s, you're going to have to weigh it up because obviously, you don't want to be taking that many hits as well. I don't like taking too many hits. I don't mind an odd -4. But yeah, I definitely think Darwin's a good option, though.
Yeah, especially for that double, Darwin's great. I mean, come 28 though, you might want Solanke back, so you might have to reverse the move to bring him in for his double. But yeah, with Trent, it's unsure.
Yeah, with Solanke, I mean, I've took Solanke out in this game week, and I bought Darwin in. But I'm going to reverse that again in 28 because I would want Solanke for the double. So you're going to have to reverse it later on, which you have to weigh up what Darwin is going to do against Brentford and Luton and whether you think he's going to get you, a couple of goals, really. But yeah, I'm willing to take the hit on Liverpool and just go with it because I just think they've got a double. They weren't great against Burnley, Liverpool. I thought they were quite sluggish to start with, but they've got a lot of injuries. Salah is a big miss. I still think, even though Liverpool scored 3 goals, I think he's a big Szoboszlai. I mean, Liverpool weren't at their complete best, but they still, all their forwards got on the score sheet. SJ, thoughts on Konate for the double game week? He's cheap and suspension is over. I'm looking to bring Konate as the 3rd asset. With Konate, I'm not keen as an option because he doesn't have much high upside, in my opinion. He's very unlikely he's going to score. Okay, he could get you a header. I just don't see him, apart from the clean sheets, it's very unlikely he's going to get a goal or an assist, in my opinion. You'd rather go for Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk, if you want to bring a Liverpool centre-back, nailed, might get you the odd header on a set piece. I just think Konate has no attacking threat, really. And you are relying on a bit of luck for him to get something on a corner. But yeah, a lot of comments coming in. But also, guys, I do want to mention, make sure you hit that like button if you are watching. There's actually not enough likes on this video. I'm just going to double check how many of you have liked the video now. Because if you haven't already, please like the video. There's only like 12 likes, 13 likes on this video, and there's over 20 of you watching. So half of you guys haven't liked the video. So guys, please like the video and also make sure you are subscribed as well if you're new around here. I'm just trying to see what else. I'm trying to not repeat the same comments as well because a few similar ones. But yeah, in regards to this game week, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because I think there could be a lot of, I think there's going to be a lot of managers that take hits for like Liverpool players or Man City players, even like KDB, another one that I wish I had in my team. KDB, I could get KDB still, but it would have to mean I'll take a -4, which I'm not sure I want to do, and it will mean I have to take out Saka, which I probably don't want to do as well. So yeah, I'm probably going to go without KDB this game week. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the team.
Yeah, it is hard to fit KDB, especially if you've got Trent as well. Takes up a lot of money. You've got a 3rd forward who's expensive. Again, that's a lot more money spent. So it doesn't leave much left to bring in the KDB, especially with the amount of price rises he's had. is almost near to the 11 million mark. Almost, I think he's currently 10.8, but
Yeah.
come near that deadline, he could potentially be either 10.9 or 11 mil.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Van Dijk rose in price last night. He went from 6.3 to 6.4. So what I could have actually done yesterday, I could have done Trent to Virgil. Sorry, Van Dijk rose in price today, I believe. And then I could have done Saka out for
Saka out.
KDB. For KDB. I could have done that
Yeah.
to have another doubler. And obviously KDB is most likely going to play both. But I'm one off short anyway because Van Dijk went up in price. And obviously after Saka's performance today, getting 2 goals, do you want to take him out before Burnley? Probably not. So as of now, the only option is Trent to Virgil. But that locks in a -8 next week, which, yeah. Let me know, guys, would you do that? Would you bring in Van Dijk knowing you have to take a -8 next week? Which, again, I'm not sure about.
I think it pays off anyway if you're deciding to triple captain Haaland, and if he does do well in those 2 fixtures, then that -8 could be made up for it.
It's because I could just play Gabriel. Because I have Gabriel who I'm going to bench. Gabriel could easily get a clean sheet against Burnley. So maybe I'm just trying to fit in double game weekers. Because I do like having double game week players in my team. As many as I can. But yeah, it's just the upside, I guess, having 2 fixtures. Let me know what you guys will do in the chat.
Yeah, for me, I'm a bit more, I think, reserved on double game week players. I don't know why. Maybe it's that because of that blank. Maybe that's why I'm off a bit doublers going for especially Liverpool. But I'm not too deep in the doubles. I think. Well, I've only got 3 at the moment. I possibly will have 4 only for their game week, but I don't think I'll be bringing any more in. I think for me that's enough cover.
Well, I would have had 6. I just feel like 6 was a good amount to have, I think, for my team. But it looks like I'll probably have 5 now, and I'm not quite happy with 5. But who knows? Trent could actually play against Brentford. We don't actually know his situation yet because Klopp quite left it vague. Says he's got a 75% chance, so I'm hoping he's back fit, but I'll be surprised. But I'm not gonna. There's still a while to go. When do they play Brentford, Liverpool? Next week. So he's got a week. We'll get a press conference, and hopefully Klopp can deliver some decent news to us for us Trent owners. Trent would have been great for that double. And his ownership's 21%, so it's not like he's owned by loads of managers as well. So, yeah.
It might be too soon though. Again, depending on the extent of his injury from the relapse.
Yeah. No one really knows what he's got.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, we're just sort of guessing at the moment. So I think we have to, as I said, we just have to wait for that press conference really. But yeah, I would be surprised if he played both. If I'm being honest. Rohan says reports he might be out for a couple of months. I mean, if that's the case, then obviously we'll have to take him out. But again, I don't want to speculate too much. There's been any real reports I've seen about his injury. But yeah, Liverpool, he's a big miss if he is out for that long because Liverpool have a lot of games in a short amount of time. Because they've got that double. They've got another FA Cup game against Southampton coming up. They've also got, obviously, against Chelsea, the cup final as well. So he could miss out a couple of games there. And yeah, Bradley is another player that we don't even know if he's going to be back for this double. But I think that's pretty much most things covered, guys. In regards to game week 25, looking ahead to it, I'm looking forward to the next coming game weeks. I think double game weeks is where it gets a bit interesting, especially with the playing chips, players playing bench boost and stuff. And also, I will do a video on chip strategy because I think I've sort of figured out my chip strategy at the moment. I'm definitely 90% sure I'm going to triple captain Haaland in this game week. I'm looking at maybe a game week 30 or a game week 31 wildcard, possibly. So I've kind of figured my plans out. It'll probably be a late wildcard, and then for the last 8 weeks, I'll have a new team. But that the videos to come on that. But yeah, I think that's it for us today. We just gone nearly an hour, and yeah, hopefully we see you guys again on Tuesday for transfer tips, where we discuss, who you should be looking to bring in for game week 25, double game week 25.
Yeah, it should be very exciting. Obviously, game week with the double in hand, but yeah, it's going to be quite eventful. But hopefully, it's a good game week for all of us, or most of us.
Yeah, hopefully everyone gets and hopefully everyone enjoyed their weekend of football. Obviously, a lot of good games, I think, this game week as well. So yeah, we'll leave it there. And hopefully we see you guys, as I said, on Tuesday for the team selection. Sorry, not team selection, transfer tips video. All right, guys, like the stream. Make sure you are subscribed. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Take care.